Okay, so let's have a look at cutting threads. Here's that little control knob that I turned earlier, but I want to actually screw it onto a thread. So what I've done is I've turned down the bar that I want to the correct diameter. I'm going to see if we can form a thread to put these two together. First thing is make sure that you drill it to the correct diameter. Each of the threads is a different diameter, so each one will need a different diameter drill bit. Next, choose your suitable tap. Now this is how a thread is formed. Here's a larger one so you can actually see it. Okay, they're all in different diameters, but this one is an M7, 7mm diameter, and we're going to push the tap into the hole. Before we do that, we need to apply some cutting compound. Now, I wish I had smell-o-vision because this stuff absolutely stinks, but it lubricates the tap on the way down, less friction, easier to cut, a cleaner, smoother cut. Now the end of the tap is tapered so it should fit into the hole, and then we turn it clockwise into the hole. Now as soon as I feel that it's starting to form that thread, I actually unwind it a quarter to break off any swarf. So in by a quarter and then back. Let's just get this properly started and we're off. So cut the thread down and then wind it back. Cut the thread down and then wind it back. Once you've got it established, it will stay true. It's relatively quick now to drive it through. This is a taper tap. What I could use, if it was a blind hole, would be a plug tap. Now the plug tap looks pretty much the same, but it's not tapered at the end. So it will go right down to the bottom of a blind hole. Put that into the tap wrench. Oh, make sure that you get the cutting compound on. In it goes. Down to where it was cut with the taper tap, and then away we go. So that's the primary tap, which is tapered. This is a plug tap or a bottoming tap, and it's square at the end. So that'll now go right the way through. It's just coming out the other side, and that should be that thread cut. Take the tap out. Okay, a bit of a messy business. Clean it all up. Okay, so that's the female thread there. Let's put the thread on this part now. I've already turned it down to the 7mm diameter that I wanted, and I've also put a little taper turn on, a little chamfer, and that's going to help me start cutting the thread. What do we cut threads with? We cut them with these. These are called dies. So tap, die. That's the two things you've got to remember. I've got that in its holder. Got a little bit of cutting compound onto the surface. Push the die down until it starts to cut the thread. It needs to be square, and the action is very similar. So it's one turn back, one turn round, half turn back, one turn round, half turn back, one turn round, half turn back. Okay, and there's the thread on there. Now you might want to know why this one's actually got a split in it. This is the reason. Although the tap is a fixed diameter, you can actually adjust the diameter of the die by tightening in these screw threads on either side, and it will crimp it a little bit tighter, so you can actually adjust the size fractionally that you're cutting. Okay, let's see if these two go together. There's my knurled nut onto the thread, and it twists on. Quite happy with that. So that's a male thread cut with a die, and that's a female thread cut with a tap. Don't forget, you need the cutting compound, otherwise it all goes horribly wrong. Job done.